Well, hello there. This is He Who Knows 10,000 Games. And today I want to talk about our favorite subject ever, microtransactions, especially the Activision Blizzard kind microtransactions, in which Blizzard was trying to get a sense of how gamers would feel about their current microtransaction plans and how they would feel about adding a battle pass to the game. Man, I really wish I could see that survey. So, as far as we know for now, D4 will reportedly have a battle pass, which is just great news. I mean, I'm so excited. I just know it's gonna be so cool, so awesome, given what they've done on Diablo Immortal, Diablo 3, StarCraft 3, the cancelled StarCraft Ghost game from a while ago. Just a stellar reputation behind a great company, which I know will do its best to give us the quality we as gamers deserve. So yeah, I'm really not a fan of this, even if it's just a battle pass, because you already expect me to shell out $60 for a AAA game. I'm fine with that. You expect me to buy your DLCs. Okay, sure. Make them good, make them high quality. Sure, of course. Why not? You put in effort and time to make a product, which I like, and I will, of course, pay for it. I don't see a problem there. It's a fair transaction. But you want to put a psychological mechanic in so that I would be afraid that I would miss out on some cool cosmetic piece of armor. Yeah, not that fine. And what's even worse, even though so far Blizzard have said and restated over and over that these will be purely cosmetic and nothing like Diablo Immortal. Well, they also said you couldn't buy power in Diablo Immortal. Now I know that some YouTubers, uh, well, I'll mention them. It's Riker, whom everybody who follows Diablo news is aware of. Um, I know that he said that Wyatt Chang was a great guy and a great person, and I have no reason to not believe him. I have no personal problems with Wyatt Chang, but he did say you will not be able to buy legendary gear. Now, that is kind of exclusive and also misleading because nobody mentioned how much of a role legendary gems would play in the game, which you can buy, which is buying power. And that's why I have a problem with this. I do hope that Blizzard will try to contain themselves and just keep it to cosmetics, even though I disagree with that as well. But it is what it is, I guess. For me personally, I would much more prefer it if they just kept releasing DLCs with new unique items, set items, whatever else. I'm not sure if there are gonna be set items because they seem to have caused a lot of problems in further development of D3. And I'm fine with that, as long as the game can be properly balanced and I can have a decent variation of builds. So if you want me to give you money, you have to choose. Is it a game as a service or is it a one off? I pay, you give me the product, that's it. Or you give me the product and I support it through cosmetics. But you can't have both. That's the main reason I never played Warcraft. I mean, World of Warcraft. I was a kid back then, well, a teenager, and when I heard, like, oh, I got this new game, you need an online connection and you just pay $50 for it and then you play. And I was like, interesting. Not sure I could do the online thing, but interesting. And then they kept going with, oh, and you also need to pay for a subscription monthly. And I was like, what? Keep in mind, that was the first time I've ever heard of such a model, and I decided against it. Then I heard there were gonna be expansions, and boy, were there expansions. So I would have to pay Blizzard every month for a subscription, so for the privilege of playing, even though I bought the damn thing, and I would also have to keep buying expansions. Now that's what I call good business. You can literally do nothing but maintenance for most of the year, and you could still end up rich. Of course, that's not what any smart company would do, as eventually the game would grow stale and the quality would drop off, which appears to have happened anyways when it comes to WoW. But WoW, as I said, is something I haven't played, so I won't be talking as much about it. It is a shame though, as I'm a huge lore fan, and I try to keep up with the lore at least. And another thing that has me worried for the future of any Blizzard title is when it comes to microtransactions, I can just see it in my mind. Imagine if a developer makes some gameplay mechanic or aspect of the game really good, and then somebody from marketing or finance or whatever the department that makes monetary decisions, somebody comes down and says, hey, what you made was really good, but could you remake it just a little bit differently so that we could monetize it somewhat? And then they kept doing the same thing throughout the game's development life span. And in the end, you would end up changing the game so much that would it even be the same game that you started off with? I mean, you keep replacing one piece by piece because of monetary decisions, and what you end up with is no longer the product you wanted to make. Like, I'm sure the story will probably be fine if they have remotely competent writers. I don't know if they do. A lot of the Blizzard staff have been changed since the days of D2 and D3. I hope they do, because for me at least the story is also quite an important aspect. So yeah, microtransactions, you will be surprised to find out, and I know that I'm the first one to ever say this, microtransactions, bad. And what else do I expect for my $60? I expect 3 stash tabs. Not your excuse with, oh, the servers are limited, we can't, it's simply not possible to make more stash tabs. No, that just don't, okay? I mean, yeah, it can be done. We have the technology. If Grinding Gear Games can do it, I'm sure a huge corporation like Activision Blizzard has some way of doing it. Another thing I expect to see is no always online requirement, which will be probably difficult here since they plan on having a living world and all of us mingling in it and all of that, which, well, sounds a bit like Lost Ark, which is a great game. Sadly, it's pay to win. I don't like that either, but it is what it is again. And since when did Blizzard become a trend follower? They used to be a trend setter. There's a reason these kinds of games are called Diablo-like. That's a huge problem. Now they're trying to imitate those who made the games better than them. But instead of trying to copy them, they should do what they used to do, which is focus on good game creation. But no, now they just worry about profits. And paradoxically and ironically, it is the profits that will end up slipping. Not yet, mind you, this is just a short-term strategy to make money. But in the long run, the company is being run into the ground. So I would still like to see some kind of an option to play offline. I'm sure it can be done. It's just a matter of, do they want to do it? What does their math say? Will it cost them more or will it pay for itself? And it probably says that it will cost them. And of course, they don't want to lose a single damn cent if they have anything to do with it. They told us that D3 couldn't be played offline, that the game was designed in such a manner that it would be impossible to change the code for the game to be offline. Now we know that was a bloody lie. How do we know that? Well, I play D3 at my work. Yeah, sometimes like when I get a break, then I play D3 on my Switch. Offline. What the hell happened there? What, did you make the game from scratch for the Switch? No, you bloody didn't. Don't lie. You changed the code. You could have done the same for D3 on PC. But no, you want to make sure there's no piracy. You want to maximize profits. And do you know what else maximizes profits? Making a good game. You know, not worrying so much about me having to be always online as much as worrying about the game balance, the auction house problems, whatever else was troubling D3 at the time. But no, I had to be always online, and on the day the game launched, I had to wait for 2 bloody days just to play it, because you wanted to prevent piracy. Well done. Great job, Blizzard. And I do not condone piracy, but if you're gonna call piracy stealing, which I agree it can be seen as, because you make a product and I just take it without giving you anything in return, of course, that can be considered, it should be considered in most cases, like 99% of the cases, as stealing. But aren't you doing the exact same thing with Diablo Immortal? You're just covering it up in sugar and all that sweet words like, oh, those are mechanics, surprise mechanics, whatever else Blizzard, EA, and all the other companies have said. But at the end of the day, it's all a trick. It's a hoodwink, a hoax, a lie, an illusion. It's not real. You're just out for our wallets. You're not then running a business, you're running a racketeering ring, which makes you no better than the pirates you fight against. In the end, Activision Blizzard lost so much trust from us gamers that they had to sell to Microsoft just to save the company. Because it may not have looked like that, but anyone who knows any damn thing about economics and how the stock market works and anything will tell you that what with all the problems they've been having, I mean, the PR nightmare from a couple of years ago and the ongoing problems within the company with the programmers not being paid enough, having to live in the parking lots and all of that. I mean, there was no chance in hell Activision Blizzard could stand on its own 2 legs for another year. They had to sell. Which tells you just about how short-sighted the company has become. They were so led by profit, by earnings, that they forgot to make good products. It used to be, if you guys remember, after D2, we were all eagerly awaiting D3. We were all waiting on it. Warcraft 3, cool game, great game. Warcraft 2, great game. Warcraft Frozen Throne. I don't know about you guys, but I was excited. I didn't think, oh god, I hope Blizzard doesn't screw it up. No, I believed in them. Now, I have no hype for D4, and that feels just sad. And hell no, I'm not buying D4. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until the game is released, until I can see what they have done with the monetization scheme. Can I achieve full power with every character without having to spend a single dime more than what was required for me to buy the game and to buy the expansions? If it requires anything more than that, I will not be buying. And I hope you guys won't either, because it is very important for us to send a message to the game developers and publishers that greed doesn't pay. So far, we have proved the opposite. It pays. And yes, I know there are some super rich people who don't mind shelling out $500,000 to level up one bloody character in the game. Okay, cool, that's your thing. You obviously have a lot of success, or successful parents at the very least. Sure, go for it. I have no issue with you, but that's just one person. Blizzard or any other company, they're not gonna make a game for just one person. They want the whales, they want the dolphins, the planktons, the whatever other kind of sea life we can think of. They want all of us in. And they're just trying to find the best method to maximize profits. They are a business, but as a business, it's not only their responsibility to maximize profits, it's also to provide quality of service, which Activision Blizzard have definitely not done for over a decade now. Please keep all these things in mind. Now, I do know that I criticize them a lot here, but I really love their IPs, and I would like to see them restored to their former glory. I would like to see StarCraft 3, Warcraft 4. Yeah, that's right, Warcraft 4, an RTS. You already have the story in WoW. Now, I mean, I would be fine with it. Just put the same story and let me play it as an RTS. I will buy it instantly. What happened with Warcraft Reforged? You decided to pull out funding towards the end of its development. Why? You shot yourself in the foot and then blamed the devs for the game failing. What the hell, Blizzard? And I'm not even gonna mention the CEO of the company, who appears to have incurred so much misery and so much suffering upon the company's employees that he would probably or should probably be judged in The Hague. Yet somehow, inexplicably, the shareholders keep voting for Bobby to remain CEO. Now, I don't know what the hell is going on over there, but it's clear to me that the shareholders also are to blame. Why? Because they know now about the threats he made to that flight attendant. They know about the culture going south within the company. They have been made well aware of the fact that he lied at some meetings, and they still keep voting him for CEO. Something smells fishy over there. Sad days for Activision Blizzard mostly. The company is not what it once was, and it's just a sad thing to watch. It's like watching an old friend from that you know since middle school or high school, who had a lot of potential, who used to be, you know, the best sports player or the best mathematician or whatever, you know, a high achiever. And after high school, they just didn't do anything with their life. They just kind of meandered and let it all go to waste, let loose. Their belly has grown out quite a lot. They're out of shape, receding hairline, teeth falling out, doing drugs in the back alleys. And you just happen to run into them one day. You see them. At first, you don't recognize them, but once you do, you just go like, oh. And then get in your car, go home, and you keep thinking, what the hell happened to that guy? He was so cool. He was so awesome. I wish I knew what the hell went wrong in his life. So yeah, for me, that's what Blizzard is. It's that friend who provided me with hours of joy when I was a teenager, and now I just keep watching them trying to rob us blind and trying different kinds of manipulations, trying to change their business style towards something extremely aggressive, and it's just a sad thing to see. From what I saw in D4, the gameplay, the visuals, everything looks as if I should be over the moon, but I can't, because they lost my trust. I'm worried that they're gonna screw it up somehow. I just don't know in what way yet. I hope they prove me wrong. I hope they do Diablo IV justice, and that we get a game that's actually worth playing for the next... It's 2022 now. D3 came out in 2012, so until 2032, given their development cycle. Not that I mind, I mean, I still play D3. So yeah, that's about it from me. If you have any thoughts, opinions, ideas of your own, please leave them down in the comments. If you liked the video, please subscribe and hit the like button. If you didn't, then don't. You know what to do. I'm gonna stop using the call for action because I really find it annoying. You guys know what to do if you like the video or not. I mean, why should I keep repeating myself? I'm not your mother or your father. Do whatever you like. So that's it from me, guys. Until the next one, see ya, and I wish you all the best. Bye.